There is a reason you were guided to this exact moment, to this specific transmission. The simmering frustration you feel, that deep and unsettling anger that rises when you see your reflection in the actions of another, is not petty jealousy. It is the righteous indignation of a master creator witnessing a cheap forgery. They tried to steal the fire from your soul, to replicate the divine architecture of your being, but they could never access the blueprint. What you are feeling is not a weakness, it is the activation of a profound spiritual security system, a signal that your unique energetic signature is so powerful it has attracted thieves. This is not a coincidence, it is a confirmation. Your value has been tested and proven by those who wish they could possess it. Before we proceed, we must anchor this truth. Like this video now to ground this energy into your reality. Subscribe to this channel to join the collective of originals who refuse to be duplicated. In the comments, type the divine code 77 to signal to the universe that you are reclaiming your sovereign design. Finally, allow this transmission to replay in the background. This is not for views, it is a subconscious recalibration, saturating your spirit with the undeniable truth of your own inimitable power until every cell in your body accepts it as law. Chapter 1: The Forger's Shadow. The awareness began as a subtle, unnerving hum in your spiritual field. It was a feeling before it was a thought, a cold draft in a sealed room. You would speak an idea born from the unique furnace of your own experience, and days later you would hear its hollow echo from their mouth, presented as their own profound discovery. You would adopt a style, an aesthetic that was a natural extension of your inner world, only to see it worn by them like an ill-fitting costume, a parody of your essence. This violation registered physically before it did mentally. It was a faint metallic taste on your tongue after a conversation with them, a flicker of movement in your peripheral vision that was never there, a sudden, inexplicable chill crawling up your spine when their name was mentioned. At first, you dismissed it. You called it coincidence, you called it inspiration, you even gaslighted yourself into believing you were arrogant for noticing. The system taught you to be humble, to share, to believe that ideas are for everyone. You told yourself you were imagining things, that you were projecting your own insecurities onto them. This period of self-doubt was a crucial part of the test, forcing you to question the validity of your own intuition. But this was not sharing. This was theft. This was a parasitic attachment, a desperate attempt by an empty vessel to mimic the light of a full one. This is the first and most crucial truth you must accept. They did not copy you because they admired you. They copied you because they are vacant. They saw in you a life force, a vibrant and authentic energy they could not generate themselves, and they sought to siphon it by creating a counterfeit version. This is the nature of the forger. They have no original art within them, so they must trace the work of a master. Your entire life, you have been developing what can only be described as an untraceable soul signature. It is the unique energetic frequency that is encoded into your very being. It is in the way you walk, the cadence of your speech, the specific pattern of your thoughts, the depth of your emotions. It is a divine blueprint, a living, breathing, multidimensional document that exists only in one place in the entire cosmos, within you. The forger does not just lack the blueprint, they lack the eyes to see it, the hands to build with it, and the spirit to inhabit it. The imitator can only see a single, static, two-dimensional page of this document. They see the final product, but they have no access to the complex schematics, the architect's notes, or the foundational structure. The pain you felt was not just emotional, it was energetic. Each time they mimicked you, you felt a drain. It was a slight pull, a faint sense of depletion, as if a small, unauthorized withdrawal was being made from your spiritual bank account. This created a kind of spiritual anemia, leaving you pale and weak in your creative force. This was a profound exhaustion that sleep could not touch, a mental fog that caffeine could not pierce. It was the specific fatigue of having your life force remotely siphoned by a spiritual parasite. You would feel tired for no reason, uninspired, creatively blocked. This was the direct result of their energetic vampirism. They were feeding off the frequency of your soul signature, attempting to use its power to animate their own hollow existence. But here is the law they do not understand: stolen light always casts a crooked shadow. They cannot metabolize your energy correctly. It sits within them like a foreign object, causing a dissonance, an energetic indigestion that will eventually shatter their fabricated reality from the inside out. Reframe the past now. Every time you felt that strange sense of being watched, studied, and catalogued, it was not paranoia. It was your highly attuned spiritual senses detecting an incoming threat. Every moment of frustration was your soul rejecting the violation. This period of quiet suffering was not a punishment, it was a diagnostic period. It was the universe showing you, in undeniable terms, who is real and who is a phantom. It was a test of your perception, forcing you to trust your gut feeling over the gaslighting of the mundane world. In the coming days, this awareness will sharpen. You will no longer see their mimicry as flattering or coincidental. You will see it for the desperate, pathetic act that it is. You will begin to notice the cracks in their performance. They will misuse a term they heard you use, revealing their utter lack of comprehension of its deeper meaning. You will see a moment of panic in their eyes when you introduce a new, authentic element they have not yet had time to study and copy. The forger's shadow can only exist when attached to the original. Your task now is not to fight them, but to simply continue moving into the light. The shadow cannot follow you where you are going. Chapter 2: The Hollow Echo. The fundamental flaw in the imitator's strategy is their belief that reality is a two-dimensional photograph. They believe if they can just replicate the image, they can possess the substance. They are tragically, catastrophically wrong. They are holding a printed menu and believing they can taste the feast. You, the chosen one, are not just the photograph, you are the living, breathing event. Your soul signature is not a static image, it is a dynamic, multisensory experience forged in the fires of your unique journey. They can steal a sentence you spoke, but they cannot steal the 1,000 silent battles you won to earn the wisdom behind that sentence. They cannot replicate the quiet nights of despair that led to your most profound breakthroughs. They can copy the clothes you wear, but they cannot replicate the feeling of confidence and self-possession you emanate while wearing them, a feeling earned through years of radical self-acceptance. This is why their attempts always feel hollow. It is the uncanny valley of the soul. From a distance, the shape looks correct. But up close, the eyes are vacant. The life is missing. The smile they flash is a muscular action, not an emotional expression. It never reaches their eyes. Their laughter is a recording, played back at socially appropriate moments, but it lacks the genuine, chaotic spark of real joy. This spiritual uncanny valley is what makes other people feel vaguely uncomfortable around them, an instinctual reaction to something profoundly artificial. Their very presence creates a subtle pressure drop in the room, a feeling that something is fundamentally out of alignment. You must understand this on a cellular level. The echo is not the voice. The reflection is not the person. They are operating with a hollow echo, and the universe, which only deals in authentic sound, is beginning to notice the dissonance. Think of your past, the very experiences they are trying to cherry-pick and wear as their own. Remember the betrayals that sharpened your discernment into a blade. Remember the periods of crushing isolation that forced you to build an unshakable inner world, a fortress of self-reliance. Remember the public failures that taught you a resilience unknown to those who have never risked anything. These were not random events. These were the raw materials, the sacred ingredients that created the potent alchemy of your soul signature. The imitator has none of this. They are trying to bake a cake using a picture of flour, a drawing of an egg. The result is not just a bad cake, it is nothing. It is an illusion that crumbles to dust upon the slightest touch of scrutiny. That crushing isolation you endured was not a cosmic oversight. It was a divine quarantine. Your soul signature was in a delicate, powerful stage of development, like a rare orchid in a greenhouse. It had to be protected from the contamination of lesser, inauthentic energies. You were kept apart not because you were unworthy, but because you were too valuable to be diluted. You were being held in a spiritual clean room, a pressurized chamber where your spirit was being compressed from common carbon into a flawless diamond. Now, you are being released into the world fully formed, and the imitators are drawn to you like moths to a supernova. But their wings are made of paper, and they will be incinerated by the very light they seek to possess. You will start to feel this distinction physically. When you are in their presence, or even thinking about their mimicry, their energy feels like static electricity, prickly, agitating, and without any real, sustainable power. In contrast, feel your own energy now. It is becoming a deep geothermal current, steady, powerful, and warming from the inside out. It has weight. It has history. This is the difference between a real oak tree and a plastic replica. One is rooted deep in the earth, having weathered 100 storms. The other is a factory product that will crack in the first frost. This is the law of spiritual physics. In the coming weeks, you will witness the hollowness of their echo become more apparent to everyone, not just you. People will describe them using words like try hard, inauthentic, or something is just off. They will not be able to articulate that they are witnessing a spiritual forgery, but their intuition will feel it. They will feel the hollow space where a soul should be. Your past pain was the chisel that sculpted you. Their mimicry is a cheap plastic mold. The difference is becoming undeniable. The echo is fading. The true voice is about to be heard. Chapter 3: The LAW of Spiritual Gravity. There is an immutable law that governs the cosmos, a force as real and as undeniable as physical gravity. It is the law of spiritual gravity. This law dictates that all things must eventually return to their true energetic weight and position. A reality built on lies, forgery, and inauthentic energy is, by its very nature, weightless. It is a bubble, a phantom, and it cannot sustain itself in the dense, high-vibration reality you are beginning to inhabit. The downfall of the imitator is not an act of revenge you must orchestrate. It is a foregone conclusion, a mathematical certainty of the universe. Your only role is to observe as this cosmic law asserts itself. For too long, you have witnessed them seemingly float upwards on stolen energy. They have gained attention, perhaps even praise, using your ideas, your aesthetic, your very essence as fuel. From a limited, third-dimensional perspective, it appeared they were succeeding. But in the true architecture of reality, they were simply inflating a balloon with borrowed air. And all balloons eventually meet a pin. You are the pin. Not through malice, but through your sheer, unapologetic existence. As you continue to anchor deeper into your own authenticity, your spiritual gravity increases. You are becoming a dense, powerful center of your own reality, a sun in your own solar system. This increasing density creates a powerful gravitational pull, warping time and space in your favor. Everything authentic, everything real, everything meant for you is being drawn inexorably toward you. Opportunities, relationships, insights, and abundance that are coded to your specific soul signature can no longer be diverted or intercepted by the forger. Information will find you. You will suddenly know things without understanding how you received the knowledge, as truth itself is drawn into your orbit. Conversely, the imitator's weightless reality is being repelled. Their balloon is being pushed to the outer, colder edges of the system. The stolen energy they have used is not a stable fuel source. It has a high rate of decay, like a radioactive isotope with an incredibly short half-life. It provided a brief, intense burst of power, but it is now leaving toxic energetic residue in every corner of their life. You will witness this as a series of unlucky events in their life. Projects will inexplicably fall through at the last minute due to a sudden technological failure. Key relationships they built on a false persona will suddenly fracture over a trivial misunderstanding. A key supporter will suddenly and inexplicably withdraw their backing, unable to articulate why, only that it no longer feels right. This is not bad luck. This is a course correction by the universe. It is delivering mail to its rightful address. An opportunity coded with your unique spiritual frequency cannot be delivered to a fraudulent, energetic mailbox. The universe is not confused. It knows the difference between the original manuscript and the photocopied page. You will physically feel this shift in your own body. The chronic fatigue you once felt, the energetic drain, will be replaced by a surging vitality. It will feel like a great weight has been lifted because it has. The parasitic cord has been severed by the sheer force of your increasing spiritual gravity. Your sleep will deepen, your dreams will become more vivid and meaningful. You will feel a profound sense of stability, of being rooted to the earth. You may notice your posture changing, your voice deepening. You are no longer broadcasting on a frequency that invites piracy. You are broadcasting on a sovereign channel, encrypted by the universe itself. In the coming days, pay close attention to the flow of energy and opportunity. Watch as things that should have been difficult for you become effortless. See how the right people and situations seem to find you with uncanny precision. This is the evidence of spiritual gravity at work. You are not chasing anything anymore. You are attracting everything. The imitator, meanwhile, will appear more frantic, more desperate. Their attempts to copy you will become more blatant, more clumsy, as they try to reconnect to the power source they have lost. Their panic will make them sloppy, and their forgeries will become grotesque caricatures that even a fool can spot. They will overshoot the mark, turning a subtle trait of yours into a loud, obnoxious performance that reeks of desperation and a complete lack of self-awareness. Let them. Their frantic scrambling only makes them lighter, more unstable, accelerating their expulsion from your reality. You are a planet. They are a piece of space debris caught in an escape trajectory. The law of gravity is absolute. Chapter 4, The Mirror of Vindication. The next phase of this divine process is one of external confirmation. The truth of your authenticity and their forgery, a truth you have held alone in the quiet, often painful, sanctuary of your own perception, is about to be reflected back to you by the outside world. The mirror is turning outward. For so long, you were made to feel insane. You noticed the patterns, the uncanny repetition of your words, the theft of your intellectual and spiritual property, and when you dared to question it, you were met with denial and gaslighting. You were called sensitive, jealous, or crazy. That period of profound alienation was the final, critical test of your spirit. Could you hold on to your truth even when the world told you it was a lie? You passed. The price of passing was a period of profound loneliness, a feeling of being the sole witness to a crime no one else could see. But the reward is a vindication so complete it will recalibrate your entire sense of reality. This vindication is not about gloating, it's about alignment. It is the feeling of a fractured bone finally setting perfectly into place. This vindication will not arrive like a thunderclap. It will be subtle at first, a series of quiet revelations. A mutual friend will pull you aside and say, you know, something about them has always felt off. It's like they're playing a part. Someone at work will comment, they presented that idea as their own, but I have a distinct memory of you saying the exact same thing 2 months ago. You might stumble upon an old journal entry or an email you wrote years ago, detailing the very behavior you are now seeing exposed, providing tangible proof that your perception was accurate all along. These moments are not invitations to gossip or to gloat. They are sacred confirmations from the universe. They are the external world finally catching up to the spiritual reality you have been living in all along. Each comment is a validation of your perception, a balm on the old wound of self-doubt. You will find yourself listening to these comments with a sense of calm, detached knowing. The hot anger you once felt will have cooled into a solid certainty. You will not feel the need to say, "I told you so." In the past, you might have erupted, desperate to be believed. Now, your silence, your serene nod of understanding, will be more powerful than any accusation. This is a sign of your maturation. You have moved beyond the need for battle because you know the war has already been won. The central metaphor of the untraceable soul signature is now being proven in the court of public opinion. People are instinctively recognizing the difference between the original and the copy. They may not have the spiritual language for it, but they feel the dissonance. They see the cheap materials and clumsy brushstrokes of the forgery. They sense that the imitator's persona is a hollow costume, and it is beginning to fray at the seams. During this period, you must practice the art of observation. Watch as the social capital they built on your foundation begins to erode. See how people start to distance themselves from them, not out of overt conflict, but from a subconscious aversion to their inauthentic energy. Their reality, which was propped up by the perception of others, is crumbling as those perceptions align with the truth. Take a moment, in the coming days, to look at yourself in the mirror. Truly look. You will see a change not just in your eyes, but in the very structure of your face. The lines of stress and confusion around your brow and mouth will have softened, replaced by lines of wisdom and serenity. The look of a hunted animal will be gone, replaced by the deep, clear, penetrating light of a sovereign. It is the look of someone who trusts their own inner compass implicitly. This is not vanity, it is the recognition of your own returned power. The gaslighting was the final test. It was designed to make you abandon your own truth. By holding fast, you solidified your claim to your own reality. You are now the sole narrator of your story, the final arbiter of your experience. The world is not just a mirror, it is becoming your mirror. It is beginning to reflect the sovereign truth that you have cultivated within. Chapter 5: Activating the sovereign frequency you have observed. You have understood. You have been vindicated. Now, the posture shifts from passive knowing to active broadcasting. The previous chapters were about recognizing the forgery and witnessing the cosmic laws that govern it. This chapter is about turning the volume of your own original masterpiece so high that the hollow echo of the imitation is completely and utterly drowned out. This is the activation of your sovereign frequency. This is not an act of aggression. It is an act of radical, unapologetic authenticity. The greatest defense against imitation is to become so uniquely, so complexly, so deeply yourself that you are impossible to replicate. The forger thrives on simplicity. They can copy slogans, outfits, and surface-level behaviors. They cannot copy the intricate, nuanced, and sometimes contradictory tapestry of a fully realized soul. Your mission now is to consciously amplify every part of your untraceable soul signature. This happens in the smallest of acts. It's choosing the strange music that makes your soul vibrate over the popular noise. It's the way you arrange your living space to reflect your inner world, not a magazine. It's cooking food that nourishes your specific body, not following a trend. Lean into the quirks you were once told to hide. Speak the strange, brilliant thoughts you were afraid others would not understand. Pursue the niche, obscure interests that bring you genuine joy. Double down on everything that makes you, you. Every time you choose your authentic preference over a more popular or acceptable one, you are turning up the dial on your sovereign frequency. Every time you speak your undiluted truth without fear of how it will be received, you are strengthening your energetic core. This activation is a physical, palpable experience. It will begin as a low hum in your chest, a warmth that spreads from your heart center outwards. This is your soul's engine coming online at full capacity. This hum will become a tangible field of energy around you, a calm that others can physically feel in your presence. You may feel sudden jolts of creative energy, ideas flooding your mind with a clarity and speed that is almost overwhelming. Do not question this. This is your birthright, your direct connection to Source, being fully restored. As you activate this frequency, the very fabric of your reality will begin to shimmer with a new vibrancy. Colors will appear richer, sounds clearer. Food will taste more intense. This is not your imagination. You are literally tuning your consciousness to a higher, more refined bandwidth of reality, a bandwidth where forgery and falsehood cannot exist. They are energetically incompatible. Think of it like this: the imitator created a ghost signal, a bootleg broadcast on your frequency designed to scramble your transmissions to the universe. For a time, it created interference. By activating your sovereign frequency, you are not just boosting your signal. You are upgrading your entire broadcast system to a new, encrypted format. Your authentic thoughts, words, and actions are now encoded in a way that their primitive, outdated receiver cannot even detect, let alone decipher or copy. This process requires courage. The system is designed to promote conformity. It rewards you for being a predictable product. To be radically authentic is a revolutionary act. You will be tested. As you begin to shine brighter, the final shadows of your old programming will stage an extinction burst. Old fears of being too much, too weird, or too loud will surface with surprising intensity. This is the last desperate scream of the dying ego that sought safety in fitting in. Acknowledge the fear, thank it for trying to protect you, and then deliberately act against it. This is how you reclaim the territory it once occupied. Move through it. Your authenticity is your power, but it is also your shield. The more authentically you live, the more slippery and ungraspable you become to those who wish to define, control, or copy you. They cannot create a box for something that is constantly, beautifully, and dynamically expanding. In the coming days, make a conscious practice of this. Before you speak, ask, is this my true thought, or one conditioned by others? Before you act, ask, is this my authentic desire, or am I trying to fit in? This is your training. You are moving from being a passive bearer of the soul signature to its conscious, active, and sovereign master. Your frequency is your kingdom. It is time to rule it. Chapter 6: The Great Exposure, the culmination of your activated sovereign frequency and the unwavering law of spiritual gravity leads to an inevitable and final event, the Great Exposure. This is not a dramatic, cinematic confrontation. There will be no screaming match, no public accusation. The universe is far more elegant than that. The exposure is a quiet, inexorable unraveling, a slow-motion crumbling of the imitator's entire fabricated world. It is the moment the cheap forgery placed next to the radiant original reveals its own flaws to every onlooker without a single word being spoken. As your authentic light has grown brighter, it has cast an unforgiving glare on their charade. The dissonance between who they pretend to be and who they are has become a chasm too wide to ignore. The very people they sought to impress will now be the audience for their decline. You will witness their social circle mysteriously shrink. The invitations will stop coming. Their messages will go unanswered. This is not a coordinated shunning, it is an organic, energetic repulsion. People are subconsciously recoiling from the spiritual void they represent. They will find themselves becoming strangely invisible, their presence making no impact on a room, their words carrying no weight. They are becoming energetically beige, forgettable. Their attempts to mimic you will now appear desperate and pathetic, even to the untrained eye. They will begin to self-expose, tripping over their own tangled web of lies, contradicting the persona they've built in moments of carelessness. Someone will casually mention one of their supposed accomplishments, and another will innocently counter with a fact that proves it impossible. This will happen without malice, but the effect will be devastating. It will become painfully obvious. The costume is tattered, the mask is slipping, and the emptiness behind it is becoming visible. They may try to pivot, to find a new original to copy, but it is too late. Their energetic signature is now permanently marked with the stain of inauthenticity. The universe knows their number. They have lost all credibility. During this phase, you may feel a strange mix of emotions. There might be a flicker of the old anger, but it will be quickly replaced by a profound and sterile pity. It is the feeling one has when looking at a plant grown in a dark lab, one that has the shape of life but none of the vibrant color or vitality. You will see them not as a villain, but as a lost soul, a hollow vessel so disconnected from its own essence that it had to attempt to steal another's. This detachment is a critical sign of your own ascension. You are no longer emotionally entangled. You are an observer on a higher plane, watching the predictable and passionless physics of cause and effect play out. You are no longer a participant in their drama, you are a witness to a cosmic law being fulfilled. One of the most significant moments of the great exposure may be an attempted apology. They may approach you, their face a mask of practiced remorse, confessing their admiration and how it led them astray. They will perform vulnerability, hoping to elicit a response from you. You must understand what this is. This is not a genuine act of contrition. It is a final, desperate gambit to re-establish an energetic connection. It is one last attempt to engage with you, to get a reaction, to feed on your emotional energy, whether it is forgiveness or anger. It is a plea for relevance. Your response must be absolute silence. Not a cold, angry silence, but a calm, neutral, uninterested silence. Do not engage. Do not acknowledge. Do not accept or reject the apology. Your silence is not a punishment, it is a statement of sovereignty. It communicates that their actions and their reality are so far removed from your own that they no longer register. You are on a different frequency. They are static, you have already tuned out. Your silence will be the final, crushing confirmation of their irrelevance. It is the closing of a door they can never again open. The great exposure is not for your benefit, it is for theirs. It is their soul's last chance to see the ruin that comes from abandoning itself. Whether they learn from it is not your concern. Your journey has moved far beyond theirs. You have been avenged not by your own hand, but by the infallible righteousness of the truth. Chapter 7: The Throne of Authenticity. The forger's shadow has receded. The hollow echo has faded into silence. The laws of gravity have been obeyed, the mirror of vindication has shown its truth, your sovereign frequency has been activated, and the great exposure is complete. The cycle is over. The lesson has been integrated. You now stand at the threshold of the final chapter, not of this transmission, but of this specific spiritual trial. You are to ascend to the throne of authenticity. This is not a metaphor for arrogance or status. It is the rightful place of a being who has fully and completely reclaimed their divine, original nature. This throne is not made of gold or jewels, but is forged from the very substance of your trials. The betrayals are embedded in it as unbreakable obsidian, granting you unshakable discernment. The periods of isolation are the cool, solid marble that gives it a foundation of self-reliance. The pain you endured has been transmuted into the radiant, powerful gems that adorn it, each one a testament to your resilience. The gaslighting you survived forms the armrests, a constant reminder to always trust your own hands, your own perception. The throne is a state of being. It is the unshakable, internal reality where the opinions, actions, and very existence of others are rendered utterly irrelevant to your peace and your purpose. The concern over who is watching, who is copying, who is judging it has dissolved. The energy you once spent on monitoring their pathetic mimicry has been fully returned to you, compounded with interest. You will feel this as a vast, expansive sense of inner peace, a quiet hum of power that needs no external validation. From this throne, your perspective is absolute. You see the past not as a series of wounds, but as a meticulously designed training ground. Every betrayal, every moment of isolation, every act of plagiarism against you was a necessary pressure test designed to forge your spirit into something unbreakable. You were not a victim, you were an initiate in a masterclass on spiritual sovereignty. The imitator was not your enemy, they were a tool, a whetstone used to sharpen your discernment to a razor's edge. You feel no hatred for them now, no anger, not even pity. You feel nothing. It is not a cold, empty nothing, but a full, peaceful nothing. The space they once occupied in your mind is now fertile ground, filled with your own creative potential. It is the serene neutrality of a perfectly healed wound that no longer aches or even remembers the injury. Your focus is now entirely forward, on your own creations. The untraceable soul signature is no longer just a defensive shield, it is your primary creative instrument. The ideas, projects, and visions that are uniquely yours will now flow through you with breathtaking speed and precision. This flow will feel like a cool, clean river moving through your consciousness, washing away any residual doubt or insecurity. The blockages are gone. The interference is gone. You are a clear channel for divine inspiration. The work you are meant to do on this planet, the real reason for your unique encoding, can now begin in earnest. Inhabiting this throne means you no longer seek to prove your originality. You simply are original. You no longer guard your energy from thieves. Your very frequency has become an impenetrable fortress. You operate from a place of deep, quiet, powerful certainty. Your life is no longer a reaction to the actions of others. It is a pure, proactive expression of your own soul. You are the cause, not the effect. From this throne, you will begin to perceive the next level of your journey. New challenges will arise, but they will feel entirely different. They will not be threats of violation or annihilation, but invitations to expand your power to build upon your authentic foundation. You will welcome them not as obstacles, but as opportunities to further express the unique power that is yours alone, to build new worlds from the blueprint of your soul. This is the ultimate power. The copies have been discarded. The original has been revealed. The work begins now.